If you're looking for someone to say that this was a warm and fuzzy episode of Big Brother, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go ahead and turn this podcast off. What the fuck was that? First off, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video everywhere. Another episode live from the Big Brother Resort. So all of that strategic planning and all of that shit went up in flames because Keisha had to go home to breastfeed her baby who's over a year old. This is 100% production's fault. How do you cast someone that attached to their kid? Like, that shit, if y'all should have known that she still be breastfeeding her child at over 1 year old, which, I mean, I ain't really heard of that shit, but I mean, whatever. I guess there's some shit that rich people be doing. I don't fucking know. I don't know enough to say really an opinion about it. That's why I'm blaming it on production, because I'm like, you should have known that she's super attached to her kid if she's still breastfeeding this long. She should have never been on the show. We talking 2.5 weeks that we get to watch, which probably ends up being 3 weeks to a month for them. And then you got Ron, he's like he's ready to go. Then you got Keisha literally blow up the entire game. And now Marissa and motherfucking Ross are fucked. Ross had a wasted HOH week. Now he's basically the number one target because he's the head of whatever crew or whatever. Because the Big O is coming after him now. Because you put her on the block. The only reason she didn't get voted out is because Keisha literally begged to go home. Because other than that, because I when they came back and she didn't use the veto, it shocked the shit out of me. Because I'm like, all of this we just hyped up to for you to use the veto and then turn around and put Shannon up. And then all of a sudden you leave the nominations the same. Which made me be like, why didn't you just throw the veto? I mean, Marissa should have threw the veto to the Big O in the first place anyway. She should have just done that anyway. But because she wouldn't have had no blood on her hands. She came off the block. Ross could have put Shannon up. She could be like, and then they would have voted her out. But instead she gets it. Now she has this wasted veto. And so they vote Keisha out. And Keisha shit sound like some bullshit. I'm sorry. Her story just didn't even sound well enough. It was like, well, from everything you saying, why would you ever have agreed to go on the show? Did you not do any research that maybe your stuff could start depleting after a couple weeks or anything? I mean, did your doctor say you could go and you would be cool? I mean, it sounded like some bullshit. First of all, they did not want Shannon gone. Because Shannon is winning and she's powerful, and they definitely didn't want the Big. Man, I told you the Big. Did I not say there was not a scenario where the Big O doesn't stay? Because my whole thing is you vote the Big O out, and if Keisha really want to leave, you let her ass self-evict herself. You not fucking up my game because you got a conscience and want to go home and you miss your family, all that shit. Do that shit on your own time. We vote to evict Shannon. We pulling you off the block. We putting Shannon up, and we getting Shannon ass up out of here. You want to leave, go hit the diary room button and go in there and quit. But don't do that. I'm not using my HOH to do that shit. I mean, so now we hitting the reset button. Except Ross doesn't get to play for HOH. Ross has to be pissed in this situation. That's why if I was Ross, I'd have told everybody the plan stays the same. We pulling Keisha off. We getting Shannon up out of here. If Keisha really wants to leave, let her self-evict. They giving Keisha a standing ovation like she did something. Why y'all giving her? I'd have stood there, man. I'd have been sitting there looking at her like that Martin video. I'd have just been looking at her. Because you fucked up the whole game. Oh, what a class act. This is the fakest shit in the world. Y'all know y'all just as shitty as I am. And the Big O's like, shit, I was trying to fight to stay, and you just literally just threw me a straight alley-oop. Triple-double a game, man. She done got a rebound, a bucket again. God. She's the new Paul. Y'all gonna look back at all this, but what's the difference between Ron wanting to go home and Rudy wanting to go home? Rudy pulled a little heartstrings where her baby is, because her baby's getting ready to die. Why couldn't you just have a pump in the diary room? You go to the diary room, they let you go off camera, whatever, pump your little shit, and then you send it out, give it to your kid. I mean, this shit just sounds fishy as hell. That's why she was like, yeah, my kid's over a year. And then she's like, yeah, mom, that's just my baby. Because everybody in the crowd was just like, they gave her a standing ovation for fucking the game up. What kind of shit is this, man? I had a whole bunch of shit I wanted to talk about game-wise, but none of it matter now. None of the shit matters. None of these alliances matter. Only thing that's possibly going to come from this is if the Big O or Shannon get in power, especially Shannon. If Shannon gets in power, it's going to be the race to see who's the first person to snitch on the plan. That's all it's going to be. Shannon's going to get in power, and that's what it is. And then if Ross gets in power, Ross is going to snitch. Or not Ross, but if the Big O gets in power, Ross is going to snitch to the Big O and be like, look, we was really trying to get Shannon out until Keisha fucked the plan up. And then they're going to try to get Shannon out that way. So their best hope is the Big O coming to power. I can't wait to see what it is. I mean, just like the contest tonight was rigged as fuck. Oh, we had this random draw to see who plays off screen and everything, and it just so happens to be all the people that are integral into the fucking storyline. The Shannon, the Ross, the Marissa, and of course the two nominees. So it's like the people who really weren't really engrossed in the storyline. Oh, y'all go sit over there in y'all Big Brother Resort lounge chairs. I'm pretty disappointed. The whole show was ruined, in my opinion. Rudy went home on some bullshit. I'm sorry. I can call it bullshit because even if she's telling the truth, it's still bullshit to me because it's like your daughter's not like dying or like sick or anything like that, because then they would have come and told you. You was all high and mighty last week, ready to pull this move. And then even last week, we calling it last week because it was last HOH. It was like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, you was high and mighty like, yeah, we gonna put this other motherfucker up, make him mad, and we gonna do this, and we flexing on everybody. Then why did you even compete in the veto? Why didn't you tell anybody this before the veto? Why'd you wait until you lost the veto, and then it's like you gonna be on the block, and then it's like they told you, well, if you're still on the block with, if you don't win the veto, then you gotta basically self-evict because we can't let them put up Shannon against the Big O. Which is the perfect play for the house. It should have been Shannon versus the Big O. And you get Shannon out. Now you only got one left. Unbelievable episode tonight. I'm not even getting ready to rehash none of the shit that Big O was talking about on the politics shit. I will say this. She was factually right about a lot more shit than people ever want to give credit to. But none of that shit, but it's all for naught. Like, I'm tired of talking about that shit every week. I follow politics very hard, Shout out to Uncle Jimmy Dore, one of my favorite YouTube commentators, or actually my actual favorite YouTube commentator when it comes to politics. But I'm watching Big Brother. We know she's from the White House. Y'all told us. It's like every episode has the White House segment. So we had the White House segment. We had Ron playing in the pool, duck fighting. We had Mark floating like a motherfucker. He's proudly floating. Hey, I'm floating. And so here goes another game reset. The game was already in a stalemate because Nobody knew what was going on with the Big O. Big O comes back. You put both of them on the block, and then you wait until after veto for Rudy to basically self-evict. That's why you don't vote her out. You vote the other person out, and you let her self-evict. Especially off the strength of, in her shit, she went all in all about her baby, and then at the end try to throw Shannon under the bus, but then was like, then try to act hard in her interview with Julie, basically being like, oh, she didn't give a fuck that she was throwing Shannon under the bus. Well, if you didn't give a fuck, why didn't you say her name? Why was you so secret about it? Why are you trying to affect the game on your way out when you're already affecting the game so much? Man, Rudy was on some bullshit. The shit's fishy. Didn't smell right. I'm sorry. I'll try to do a real review of the show tomorrow. That pissed me off. The whole game has been sabotaged. We got to start over. And the biggest loser out of all of this is Ross, because he can't compete for HOH. So I expect the Big O or Shannon to be in power. I told you the Big O wasn't going home. I'm 1 for 1. So thanks, Rudy. Thanks a lot for fucking the game up. Get in the comment box. Let me know what I should talk about when I do a real review. Let me know anything I missed. Let me know if you think I'm wrong about Rudy. Let me know. Hey, if you think I'm tripping, tell me. Hey, Shay, you tripping. You should probably ease up off of her. But the fact that she did that and said that speech about her daughter and then tried to affect the game even more by throwing somebody under the bus, then just get the fuck out. You don't want to be here because of your kids, so you don't want to play. Stop trying to affect the game. Get the fuck out. I apologize for my outburst. Hit that like button, subscribe to the video, share this video everywhere. Hit me up on Twitter at MetroD, Facebook.com, BB Life with Shay. Hit me up on Instagram, Ari Football. That's ARIFOOTBALL. Hey, man, I'm trying to be everywhere. So hit your boy up. And as always, your boy is probably lying.